The following program is brought to you in part by Time Warner Cable and the Madison County School System.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television, here today with head coach John Clark.
And I'm here to tell you to watch Madison County School Sports Television.
This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goebel in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises. This program is sponsored by First Gear in downtown Richmond and Pro Signs in Southern Hills Plaza.
Welcome to the John Clark Show, the Christmas edition.
But we've got some corn for popping.
Welcome to the Coach John Clark Show. I'm Samantha Burford, sitting here with Coach John Clark, of course. And we're at Jack Burford Chevrolet, and I believe we have Santa watching, so we have to, be good.
You better watch out.
You better watch
You
out.
better not cry.
That's right. That's right. It's snowing. Well, somewhat snowing. Anyway, we had a lot to talk about, and I'm super excited. I know you and your staff and all the players have to be super excited. Congratulations.
Thank you. This is it's pretty neat to sit here and be talking about Christmas and Thanksgiving and still be playing football. It's the way we wanted it to be when we came to Madison Southern, so we're pretty excited.
Most people are already talking UK basketball right now.
Is that the one with the round ball that
Yeah.
bounces? Yeah, we're not quite ready for that yet.
Yeah.
Not quite ready for that yet.
No,
So.
absolutely not. It's still Friday night time.
Yeah, we're preparing for the regional championship this week. This is only the second time in Madison Southern history they've played for a regional championship. The first time was in 1996. Michael Belt, our defensive line coach, does a great job with our D-line. He was actually on that team. They lost to Bell County. So this is a big opportunity for our young men.
Right.
Most of our kids were born that year or 1 year old.
Wow.
When that game was played, which is amazing to me. But
well, when you put it into that perspective,
I just got my
Yes.
license, so it's pretty interesting how long it's been.
yeah. Well, you guys had a 41-28 win
Yes.
over Harlan County.
ma'am.
We want to start out by saying that. I did say congratulations. That's just incredible. And I mean,
Awesome atmosphere for a game.
I want to call it the Damian Harris show. A lot of people will say that, but it was a huge effort, but not only your offensive line, but defense. I mean, holy cow!
It was pretty neat. You know, we to kind of paint a picture for the whole scenario
Yeah.
of the game. They were the number one rushing offense in 5A. They averaged close to 400 yards a game rushing. We held them to 262, I think it was. They were the number one rush defense in 5A, and they were holding opponents to 78 rushing yards per game. We rushed for 371 on them.
Isn't that incredible?
And then also we were tied defensively with them for second in points given up per game. We both have given up 15.5 points per game. We scored 41 on them. So that being said, it was a big effort by the whole team. Special teams, everything played into this game. We knew it was a tall task. Our kids handled it well, and we were the better team Friday night.
I know this is going to sound like a crazy question. Maybe most of my questions probably are crazy.
No.
But, I mean, when I interviewed you last Tuesday night, you were very positive that you were going to pull out this victory.
Yeah, I felt good about it. You know, we do a good job of watching film and seeing what weaknesses are of our opponent per what our strengths are and putting it together, and we felt absolutely sure that we could win that football game. I felt, you know, and I don't like to say this, I never say this going into the game, I felt we were 2 touchdowns better if we played our best game.
That was really my question. Did you think you'd win by that much?
Well, to me, how much you win by at this stage doesn't matter. It's about the win. There's arguments that they could have made some plays that could have put them right back in the game, and then there's arguments that we could have not made some plays that could have made, you know, we had a fumble that maybe we'll talk about and could have opened the game up a little more potentially. You never know. I don't know, you know, but I felt like if we had played this team earlier in the year, they were probably 3 touchdowns better than us. Yeah. It's about how your team's, you know, they've had some injuries. And they're not the same team with a couple of their young men. They had a defensive end out who is a very dynamic football player. And, you know, we wish him the best. We mentioned him last week about how he had a severe neck injury. Yeah. And he's okay and he'll recover. And you never like to see that happen to somebody. But him not being in the game had an effect on the football game. It absolutely did. He was a very good football player. So sometimes things go your way and sometimes they don't. And that makes a difference when those things happen for you or against you.
Right. Before we get into, because I know you scored right on the second possession, before we get into that play, let's get your word of the week this week.
This week, our virtue of the week is diligence.
Okay.
We're talking about being very diligent and doing our due diligence to prepare for this game.
I like it.
Yeah, it fits for the week.
Right. Great. Okay, then let's get right on into the second possession. And
well, we started off, they chose to receive, which we figured they would. They wanted to keep the ball away from our offense. They have a methodical drive down the field type of offense. We had a couple big plays defensively, forced them to give the ball back to us, drove down the field. We ended up with and forgive me, I forget some of these things because I've already been looking ahead. It was either a 3rd and short or a 4th and short scenario we were in.
I don't even have those in my notes. So.
We lined up in a play to where we lined up in a full house bone backfield, some old school football with 2 tights, and we gave it to Damien off tackle, and about 35 yards he was off to the races. It was a good play.
Right.
It was blocked very well, and it worked just the way you hope it does.
So it ran exactly the way
it worked just like you hope it does when you draw it on the board.
Right. That's perfect.
So it's exciting.
Well, I know that you said last week that there was going to be a few plays that they had not seen.
That was one of them.
Okay.
And
that's what I was wondering.
And I remember going through that play when we put it in on Tuesday, repping it with the boys when we told them we're going to score on this Friday, and we felt positive we would as long as we secured the ball on it, and we did, and we scored on it.
Do you have anything? Well, should I save this question?
Always.
Do you have extra plays that
Always.
Pulaski hasn't seen yet, since you've already played to them?
We do that every week.
Okay.
Every week we go into a game with something that people aren't prepared for. You have to keep your opponents on their heels. But we don't just do it to do it. We do things that we feel we can't. We've been practicing stuff that we haven't shown still this season. You have to do that to be an evolving team, and we do that. And we also add things that we feel we can play off of. You know, there's always a progression to our plays, and we're starting to progress off of some of those plays.
Well, a lot of people may wonder, you know, at this late in the season, do you keep adding extra things just because, you know, you want to keep practicing what you're doing?
We have our base packages. We have our base offense and base defense, and they go with us every week. And then some of it may not marry up against the defense we're playing, so we drop it. Some of this may not be very good against the offense we're seeing, so we drop it, but we keep the base stuff. Maybe the base stuff shrinks a little.
Okay.
And then we add things that maybe last week we didn't have in our base stuff because it wasn't very good, but maybe it has merit this week, so we add it back in. And we have a base package that's about like this. We go into each week knowing this is our base. And then we shrink it based on what we like, and then we add a couple wrinkles here and there that can give that team problems in certain areas. That's how we game plan.
Okay. Let's talk about You scored right off, but you didn't make the extra point. What happened?
Well, good question. Depends on who you ask. Devontae Linville holds for us as the quarterback. He felt the snap was a little low.
Okay.
He didn't feel he had time to get it on the tee. We felt he had time to get it on the tee to kick still. It's his decision, though. If he feels the snap is off, he felt it was on his hip a little. We thought he probably could have gotten it down. But that's his choice, and we trust him to make that choice.
And you run emergency plays in case
absolutely.
this
So he
happens.
made the emergency call on it, and we threw low. And we just dropped the ball. We had still had a chance to convert it, but we didn't get it done. And those are the kind of mistakes that you hope not to make in a big game like that.
Exactly.
I was not happy about that. That's something that you worry that comes back later and haunts you, which we're going to talk about as we get going.
Yeah.
So they come down the field. They put together a nice little drive, score.
Yeah.
Then they kick back to us. We come down. We score again. All right.
Yeah, it seemed like it went back and forth.
It did. It looked like it'd be a high-scoring game probably.
Yeah.
Right before half, we're sitting there. You're looking at they're up 7-6 because of the extra point, and then we go down and score again, and we chose to go for 2. We chose to go for 2 because we felt we had to get that point back to play with this team. It's going to come into it's going to have merit later in the game, so we chose to run off tackle in the same package we scored in earlier with the full house backfield. We ran outside with Casey Dion, Aaron Sipple, Austin Beetlestone, and Damian Harris threw great blocks on the edge for him. The line did their job, and Casey took it into the pylon for that 2-point conversion to put us at 14. It was huge.
And you've ran that, I mean, you do that quite a bit, regular season.
Well, we
You've
do.
You've gone for quite a bit of 2-point
Well, I'd like to kick an extra point.
Yeah, right.
I mean, a guaranteed point, to me, if it's a gimme, we're going to take it every time.
But you felt like you needed
it
to
wasn't
get
a gimme
extra,
this last week,
right.
and we needed to get the point back we lost. At that point, a lot of people look at it, well, you got 6, but I saw it as we lost 1. Every time we score, it should be a guaranteed 7 points. If that's not the case, we've got to get those points back. And we took that chance, and we got it back.
Right. Let's take a break before we get into the second quarter.
Sure.
And we'll talk more. All right? All right. We'll be right back with the Coach John Clark Show.
This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. You're watching Madison County School Sports Television, home of the greatest announcers around. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, Madison County EMA.net, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.
Hello everybody, I'm David Sullivan for Rosenbaum Communications. Rosenbaum Communications is a full-service television production and media company. We've produced projects and provided services all over the world for such clients as ABC Sports, NBC Sports, CBS, ESPN, Amway International, Time Warner, and many regional and local clients such as East Kentucky Power, Center College, Georgetown College, KET, the Kentucky Coal Association, Keeneland, and the Kentucky School Board Association, and many, many more. Give Rosenbaum Communications a call and let us quote and plan your next media project. No project is too small. Our client list may be impressive, but our service is very personal and budget friendly. visit our website at rosenbaumcommunications.com. Let us show you how to get started. We look forward to hearing from you soon.
Welcome back to the Coach John Clark Show. I'm Samantha Burford. Once again, we're here at the beautiful, newly remodeled Jack Burford Chevrolet. Beautiful red Camaro, ready for Santa to drive.
Santa delivered a nice new showroom.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they've got the new TVs in today. It's
Looks
coming
nice.
along. Every week when you're here, there's
Something
like
new.
you said last week, they're trucking along.
They are.
But we don't have the big black truck in here today.
I know, it's
They've
kinda
switched
sad.
it up on you this
I
week.
was sad about that.
Yeah, they've switched it up. So you're going with the red behind you
Yep.
today. So, all right, let's get back to football. More exciting stuff, I guess, for you. So, football. Let's talk second quarter. Let's talk about, let's see, the beginning of the second quarter. A lot happened, but there wasn't a lot of scoring. So,
Sure, back and forth a little bit.
Yeah.
They came down and they scored right before the half. This was a big, well, let me take you back again to where we were driving earlier in the game as well. We hit a nice little inside hitch route to Devontae Linville.
Yeah.
Devontae takes it 35 yards. We feel like we're going to have the ball down around the 15-yard line. We got a chance to go up 2 scores early in the game.
Right.
And we felt that was a big momentum point for us. And then Cole Wilson, I talked about him in the last show, number 2 for Harlan. Absolutely a great football player. He ran him down from behind and stripped the ball out. We fumbled the ball and they recovered it. Those are the kind of things that can haunt you in a big-time game. I was a little worried about that play at that time, that this could come back and really, really get us.
well, that changes the momentum.
It did, and then they come back and they score off of that, and that's when you start to think, gosh, was this a big momentum swing at their place? Well, something took place after they scored. Not much time left on the clock. Aaron Sipple, Mr. Everything, middle linebacker, comes through and saves the day and blocks their extra point attempt.
Right.
Which
That's
was
big.
it's huge, because that point
Yeah.
puts us up 1 point
Going into
going
halftime.
into halftime.
Right.
So when you look at that game, Aaron made a play that we won the first half.
Right.
And momentum-wise, what that did emotionally for our kids was huge.
Right. So it was 14-13 going into the half. What do you say?
We won the first half. Let's go win the second half. I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter how many points it's by.
Right.
Now, one thing I will say is our coaching staff, I think, did a great job in this football game. Jimmy Skinner, Byron Smoot, they're our quarterback coach,
Okay.
running back coach. We had a really good plan on offense as far as what we wanted to do run game-wise and pass game-wise. And we limited some things and held some things here and there and played some certain cards at certain times when we felt we had them. We knew we had some cards in the first quarter, first half. We chose to play them in the second half, and it turned out to be a really good thing for us. So I thought our staff did a really nice job making our adjustments at halftime to do what we needed to do. Defensively, we were stuffing the run in the first half. I mean, I thought defensively we did an outstanding job. And Aaron Sipple ended up with 18 tackles on the night. Casey Dion ended
impressive.
up
I
with
mean-
17. That's amazing. Some kids go 2 or 3 games with those kind of numbers.
Right.
So, and against a physical football team.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not talking a little small football
No, this
team.
is
This is a playoff game.
this is a team that played in the semi-state last year. A lot of people had them to go to state this year. So we were pretty excited sitting at halftime and what little adjustments we had to make. We thought we had a good plan coming in the second half.
So going into the third quarter, I mean, I don't want to say third quarter nothing happened, but I mean there was no scoring. in
Well,
the
we
third
started
quarter. So
off
what
the first
happened?
drive. The first drive, we had the ball. I really thought we'd move the ball. We had a couple mishaps offensively in there that led to a 3-and-out. Wasn't real happy about that. Our quarterback took a shot. We threw a ball deep, completed it to J.D. Dean, and he took a shot in the knee. It was clean. He just got hit low. It wasn't anything dirty, but bruised his knee, and we lost him for a couple plays in this series as well. And that actually led us to get into a package that we were holding throughout the game where we have Damien in a quarterback, the direct snap package. We kind of held that back. We thought there were some things out of it, and lo and behold, the first time we got in it, when our quarterback was out,
Yeah.
he pulled a Damien and went about 45 yards
Yeah.
for the touchdown. Excuse me.
Isn't that incredible? I mean, just sometimes the way it works.
We've run that package 3 times in the last 3 games, and I think for 3 touchdowns. So it's pretty amazing.
So you think you'll run it this week?
You never know.
You never
Yeah,
know.
I think they'll be prepared for it. Pulaski's
Right.
seen it before, and it's
Yeah.
scored on them before.
Right.
So they're fully
they'll be
aware of
prepared.
it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But he's pretty dangerous with the ball in his hand,
Yeah.
regardless of what's going on.
Yeah, whether it's offense, defense,
And
quarterback.
that's the case. And a little side note on Damian today, and this is definitely worth mentioning to everybody, is ESPN's top 300 juniors rankings came out today for the junior class 2015, and he was rated by ESPN the #1 running back in the country.
That's
and the
incredible. I
number
hadn't heard that yet.
And the number 17th overall prospect. That just happened this
I mean,
season.
you just have to feel proud, like
It's
it's
pretty amazing.
not just a coach, but just a mentor and just a friend to
Well,
him. That it's
and it's something that when you see this young man come to you, and he's a freshman, and he's 14, 15 years old, and you as an adult, you've been there, you know what's possible.
yeah.
But how many young men have we worked with in our lives that never reached their potential, and you look back and you say, what could I have done different? And to watch this young man work and is meeting his potential, and he's not there yet. He's got so much more in him that he doesn't even know he has yet, and he's figuring it out though. But to see what he's done with what he has is truly remarkable, and he is a humble young man in the process.
And he's not a quitter by any means.
No,
I mean,
he's tough, and he's motivated, and he's, a lot of kids that would get this ranking would sit at home and say, I've done it.
right.
He's motivated to better it and to keep it. And
Right.
he knows ratings don't mean anything, but at the same time, it's a well-deserved. And it's
Exactly.
a recognition of the hard work and the performance he's put in, absolutely.
And I'm sure his teachers in school and in class, I mean, you're a teacher, you know this, how he is in school. I'm sure he's just the exact same way.
I mean, he's a kid. I
Humble
don't know how many 15, 16-year-old boys love school.
True.
I don't think he loves it, but he's an intelligent young man, and he does what he needs to do in the classroom and carries good grades,
Right.
So I don't think there's too many of them that love school, but he doesn't push it aside because he feels like he's already there.
Entitled that he's going to
Yeah,
go on
absolutely.
to college.
And his mom makes sure that's not the case as well.
Good.
But no, he does a great job of staying the course, and I'm really proud of him for doing that. Really
Well, let's
proud
keep
of him.
talking about him into the fourth quarter. He exploded in the
He
fourth
really
quarter.
did. We had some plays that we felt in the run game. They kept giving us looks throughout the game. We kind of put those cards in our pockets. We came out in the fourth quarter, and he went off in the fourth quarter. He really did.
Yeah.
I think he had about 260-some yards rushing in the fourth quarter.
Just in the fourth
In
quarter.
the fourth quarter. A couple of them were amazing runs. A couple of them were untouched as well. He had a
Right.
70-yard run where nobody touched him. We had a hat on a hat, and it couldn't be blocked any more beautiful is how you draw it
Yeah.
up. We had a couple plays where we miss a few guys, and he cuts it back across the field, and he's gone. So it was a mixture of both. But I'll tell you what, our offensive line,
That's what I was going to say.
they played
you read my
they
mind.
played their butts off in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
We physically played a great game in the fourth quarter. Our fullbacks were, we had a third and 9 with 40 seconds left in the game, to where we could potentially have to punt to them, and they'd have 35 seconds to try to score again. And he scores from about 40, 50 out on that
Yeah.
play. Our fullback, Aaron Sipple, laid out the outside linebacker that showed up over the top that kind of created the crease. Our linemen, everybody was on somebody. Our receivers did a great job blocking downfield, and they were downfield blocking for him. So a lot of things went our way as far as everybody doing their jobs.
Right. Well, and it went back and forth there for a little while, even in the fourth quarter. You were always ahead.
Yeah, well, I'll
but
tell you
they
what
kept
happened.
scoring
I'll tell you
back.
what happened is they got in the mode where they knew they couldn't just run the ball out, so they went to a spread offense,
Right.
which we know they've done, and we felt like if they went to that, we'd be okay. We didn't work pass all week. They don't pass the ball. When you're facing a team that rushes for 400 yards a game, you practice to stop the run.
Right.
If they start to throw, you get them out of their comfort zone. Well, quarterback, we got some pressure on him. He ran around. Good athlete, number 3, their quarterback. Ran around, and then would chuck it downfield and find somebody. So it was one of those deals where we were kind of sitting there going, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Like he's running around like it wasn't just sitting back and picking us apart.
But it
they
worked
did
a
make
few
plays.
times, yeah.
They made plays,
Yeah.
There was one where they had fourth down. They had 4th and goal from like the 10. We're about to sack him. He runs all the way down to the 25-yard line, back across the other side of the field, throws it up in the end zone. Devonta Linville jumps up. We think he's going to pick it. A guy shoves him in the back, which doesn't get called. It is what it is. I mean, I would do the same thing if I'm that kid. And then the kid laying on the ground in the end zone catches it. And it's a touchdown, and you're just like, you got to be kidding me,
Yeah. That's like usually makes the highlights.
Yeah, I
So
mean, there's
it's
just some things like that took place that even as a coach, you have to sit there and say, they made a great play.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't in bad position. We didn't do anything wrong. That quarterback made a great play.
Yeah.
And they did some of that. And that's what good teams do. You know, they're a good team. They don't lose.
Yeah.
They don't like to lose.
They adjusted.
So when they feel they're on the edge, they feel their backs against the wall against losing, they're going to do anything they have to do.
Yeah, because they had nothing to lose.
To win the game.
Right.
And that quarterback, he was playing lights out because he was refusing to lose. And that's what we try to teach. So hats off to them for having to throw, coming out and throwing well.
Right.
They did.
Right. Anything else you want to talk about in the fourth quarter and about this win, or do
Just
you want
the
to move
feeling
on?
at the end of the game. I mean,
Okay.
it was a pretty amazing game for our program.
Yeah.
I mean, it's to go into a place like that, beat a team that's known as being a physical, run-stopping, run-heavy team that punches people in the mouth, and I think it was a respect factor for our program across the state. I think a lot of people looked at that score and thought, this is interesting. Madison Southern just beat Harlan at Harlan.
Mm-hmm.
So that game's over. We've moved on. We're talking about it. It's worth its due recognition.
Right.
No question.
It
was a
is
huge
worth its
program.
due.
You know, John Lamb punting. John Lamb pinned them inside their 5-yard line twice in this game. We averaged 49 yards a punt. We recovered 2 onside kicks. Casey Dion and Alex Lane. So when you put the body of work together, there were some great plays that happened
Right.
throughout that game that put us in this position.
Coach, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about Pulaski County
Sounds
this
good.
Friday night. All right, we'll be right back.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube. This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU Bypass in Richmond.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do during disasters, like tornadoes, and how to plan for emergencies, like flash floods. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
Another great sponsor for Madison County School Sports Television is Madison HVAC. Visit them at MadisonHVACR.com. By calling Madison HVAC, you always know you'll talk to the owner. Give them a call. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises.
Welcome back to the Coach John Clark Show. I'm Samantha Burford, and let's just jump right back into it. Let's talk this Friday night, big Pulaski County. Are you nervous?
Again, no, I don't get nervous anymore.
Okay.
No,
I would be.
No, after being in a big stage of like the Cotton Bowl or something, I've kind of learned to calm my nerves a little bit more. I was more nervous when I was playing than I ever get when I was
Really?
coaching.
Okay.
Yeah, because by Thursday, everything I've done can do is pretty well done. The kids have to go and perform.
Right.
So I'm not nervous, and I feel very confident in our young men and their abilities and what they're capable of doing right now. You know, you get to a certain point where there's nothing else you can do. Like, we're to the point now where you can't coach effort. You can't. I mean, if you're not fired up and giving 100%, and you get to this point, there's 8 teams left. If you're not selling out for everything you have to do to win, then you're not going to move on.
Right.
So at this point, it's a matter of managing the body of the team rather than actually having to motivate and drive and push. It takes care of itself from here on. It's all about who wants it more.
Well, that is true. I agree with you, and that's very important to say. Now, Pulaski County, you played them how long ago?
I think it was October 11th, if I remember off the top of my head.
4 weeks ago.
It was about a month ago.
Yeah.
So they're 12-0. They beat us. They went on to win the district.
It was a hard-fought game.
It was a hard-fought game. Wasn't the best game I've ever called. Myself and my defensive coordinator both felt that way.
Okay.
Very rarely in life, it wasn't the best game the offensive line played either. It was by far the worst. And after that game, we all knew that, and we felt that. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from Pulaski. It's an outstanding football team.
Right. Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
And they turn the ball over on the goal line twice.
Every year they are. I mean,
and if they don't turn the ball over on the goal line twice, the game could have been worse than it was.
Yeah.
So this is a great football team. They're 12-0 for a reason, and they are 12-0. But not all the time in life. And I talked to the kids about this week. When we did our virtue on Monday. Do you get an opportunity to redeem something you felt you should have done better?
Yeah. That doesn't happen very often.
It doesn't happen a lot in life. I don't know
Second
about you, but I've
chances.
made a lot of mistakes that you can't go back and get
fix.
another chance at.
Right.
Now,
They can fix
we
this.
can't fix what we did before, but we have a chance to try to make it right to us.
Right.
And that's unique in life. And we talked about how you have to leave all your cards on the table this time because I don't feel like I did last time.
Yeah.
And the rest of our staff doesn't, and our kids don't.
Well,
And
that's
we need to
impressive
make
that
sure
you
we do
even
that.
say that,
Yeah.
that you feel like, okay, there were still things I did wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not perfect. Trust me, if I was the perfect football coach, we probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. So, no, but it's, we make mistakes too.
No, but it's polite. It's nice to say that you're humble as well. I mean,
I didn't call a great game, and I knew that, and I knew that afterwards. And we talked about it on the show. We're not an offense that's designed for a running back to carry the ball 30-plus times a game. That's not what our offense is designed to do.
I forgot about
Damien
that.
had 32 carries in that game.
Yeah.
I'm calling the plays. That's on me. And I was being stubborn because what I was calling should have worked, but it wasn't working because we weren't staying on the blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on me that I should have made adjustments and changed things, and we're going to fix that. That we fixed it since then. We've played better football every week since then. So I feel great about the team that's going into this game, much more than I did the team that we were a month ago. We've
Right.
improved a lot in a month.
what do you think about your seniors? Do you think they're ready?
I'm so proud.
Because they really
I'm
got to
so
step
proud
up.
of
I mean,
group.
this is it. This could possibly be. This will be their last game.
I'm so proud of this group. I talked to them about this on Monday. You want to hear a pretty cool story. Talk about a group of young men that in 2010, when I walked into the building, were coming off a freshman season where they were 1-10 on the varsity level. And they all played varsity because they had no choice. And they were 1-10. Fast forward to 3 years later, they're 10-1. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty amazing story, and it's the same group. And it's a group of young men who believed in a dream, believed in the path to get them there, wholeheartedly stayed the course. How many people do you know can go from there to here in a 3-year time frame and not fade, stay the course? I mean, think of the things you've seen in your life that have been great accomplishments. They take time. And a lot of people don't have a lot of patience to see things through. They waited, and they waited patiently, but they waited patiently with an urgency about the way they worked towards their goal. And it goes back to the seniors we had 2 years ago. They laid the foundation. Last year's group showed them how to lead and relentlessly work for something. And this group said, now it's our turn to finish this. And now the foundation they've laid for the young guys, they know coming in what the expectation in our program is. I've seen it take 10 years for something like this to happen. It happened fast because the kids believed in it and they worked towards it.
Well, and you've got a school that believes in it. I mean, your parents, they're the best. I mean, they're following you everywhere you go.
We had an outstanding crowd at Harlan. Central, you were at the Central game. It felt like a home game to us, and I hope to God we have that same crowd at Pulaski this week.
I think
we
you
need
will.
Come out, Southern fans. We need to make this feel like a home game. And you know, you get to a certain point in the playoffs where the team that plays the best will win, but some things can happen too. I mean, you can have a call go the wrong way that costs the game. You can have a fumble bounce the wrong way. Nothing's guaranteed past a certain point. So to sit here and say, well, you'll be here again next year and those things, it's not that easy. And people that have been there know that. So everybody needs to come out and support now, because the last one was 1996. There's no guarantee this happens again. You know, there's just no guarantees. So it will be an exciting game with two very good football teams that really get after each other and have a lot of respect for each other. We have a lot of respect for that team, and they have a lot of respect for us. And our kids fight hard against each other, but they're going to pick each other up and pat each other on the helmet because of the respect factor. It's a very competitive, clean rivalry. It's a fun game.
And shake hands after the game.
Absolutely. They'll hug each other. I mean, there's a lot of respect between our two teams.
Yeah.
You know, they know that those guys work hard. They know we work hard. They know that both of them know we'll get the best effort from the other man across from us. And
So
that's
before
exciting.
I let you go, do you want to give a shout out? Because I know you said you've got some film you still need to watch tonight. Any shout outs that you want to give before we close?
Well, we've just had some young men playing outstanding throughout the playoffs. I mean, Damian, obviously, you know, to have 21 carries and 6 touchdowns and 342 yards rushing is just an amazing accomplishment in the second round of the play. I mean, he has 10 touchdowns in 2 playoff games.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. On the other side of the ball, you've got Aaron Sipple playing outstanding football. Casey Dion's playing outstanding football. Aaron Sloan took a shot in the knee, came back in the game. Andrew Miller at tight end. He's just a young sophomore that is playing very good football for us right now. He's going to be a special young man that we're going to talk about down the road here.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've got some young men who really work hard in practice to give us the look we need to get to this point. So.
And Sloan doing okay. I mean, you said he went back
Yeah, he's
into the
great.
game, but this
He's
week
great.
the knee's doing okay.
We don't just go home and talk about it on Monday. We stay on our guys that have injuries throughout the weekend, make sure they're seeing people if they need to, icing, heat, stretching, whatever they need. We stay on top of that
Right.
stuff over the weekend, and we're going to be healthy and ready to play Friday night.
Good. Coach, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Big game against Pulaski County, all the fans. We need any Eagle fan.
Bring 4 people with you.
Exactly. Don't just drive yourself. Bring a carload.
And it's supposed to be a nice night.
Excellent. That makes
So,
it even
it
twice
makes
as
a-
good.
makes a big
Twice as good
difference.
for a maroon.
If you want to
lemon.
buy tickets in advance,
Oh.
they have them at Southern right now. At the gate, they're $6. In advance, it's $5. They issued us a certain number. We'd love to sell them all and call them back and have to ask for more. So come by Southern, by the main
Perfect.
office, $5. You can get them all throughout the school day. Pile into cars. Let's
Are
go
they
to
taking like a pep bus or anything
I don't know
that you
because of the
yet?
distance of it yet.
Okay.
I've just kind of been focusing on what we need to
Right.
do.
Yeah, you're not worried about the pep bus.
I would think the majority of the school will be at this game, absolutely.
Yeah, good,
Yeah.
good. I sure hope so. Good. Coach, best of luck to you.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
and we'll talk to you after Friday night, and that's what I'm most excited about.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks for watching the Coach John Clark Show. We'll see you next week. Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television, here today with head coach John Clark.
And I'm here to tell you to watch Madison County School Sports Television.
This program is brought to you by Hopper's Jewelry, off the EKU Bypass in Richmond.
Natural hazards can be scary, especially for kids. We count on the adults in our lives to help keep us safe. That's why there's a website that can show you and your family how to prepare for all kinds of hazards. You can learn what to do during disasters, like tornadoes, and how to plan for emergencies, like flash floods. Remember, we're counting on you to keep us safe.
Be aware. Learn how to prepare at MadisonCountyEMA.net.
This program is sponsored by Jack Burford Chevrolet, right here in Richmond. And by Clayton Homes in Richmond on Big Hill Avenue. This programming is sponsored by State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble in Richmond, Luxury Pet Service, Richmond, Premier Rehab in Gibson Bay, CSEP, MadisonCountyEMA.net, Richmond Tourism, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, ScenicCabin.com, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, and Tatum Enterprises. This program is sponsored by First Gear in downtown Richmond and ProSigns in Southern Hills Plaza.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.
Hello everybody, I'm David Sullivan for Rosenbaum Communications. Rosenbaum Communications is a full-service television production and media company. We've produced projects and provided services all over the world for such clients as ABC Sports, NBC Sports, CBS, ESPN, Amway International, Time Warner, and many regional and local clients such as East Kentucky Power, Center College, Georgetown College, KET, the Kentucky Coal Association, Keeneland, and the Kentucky School Board Association, and many, many more. Give Rosenbaum Communications a call and let us quote and plan your next media project. No project is too small. Our client list may be impressive, but our service is very personal and budget friendly. Visit our website at rosenbaumcommunications.com. Let us show you how to get started. We look forward to hearing from you soon.